Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Ralston, can you hear me? Great.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're doing Ireland, you've got Scotland.
Yeah. I'll take us in and we'll go from there and just make stuff happen.
Make stuff happen. I haven't turned on the...
yeah, you guys will turn yours on. Hello everyone, welcome into today's presentation of the 2022 Under-18 Four Nations Tournament. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Atticus P. We're live on the BBL player for today's action. Atticus P. joining me today. We've got Dylan Cummings, Reese Jones. Guys, thank you for joining us. We have an incredible morning of basketball coming up. Reese, what are you looking forward to most?
Well, I had to miss out on it yesterday, unfortunately, so I'm just looking forward to seeing some extremely high-level basketball here in this Arches Arena. Me and you have been covering collegiate-level basketball and multiple different levels of basketball here in this arena all year, and I'm so excited to see just a step up in international quality here today.
Now, Dylan, I know you've been a part of the broadcasting team over the past day. You've been here for all the Scotland games, commentating all throughout the day. This is a big matchup for the Scotland squad up against Ireland. They had a tough loss yesterday to England, but what are you looking forward to today from Scotland up against Ireland?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're just hoping to get a win under their belt today, so I think they'd be aiming to do that.
Now, as we look ahead to this game, there's a few key plots to keep track of. First of all, and more importantly, I think for the Scotland squad, you played last night. Scotland played at 5:30 p.m. last night. You played a tough game against Wales, lost by 1. Now you've got a game at 9 o'clock in the morning against Ireland. Scotland came in the arena about 15 minutes ago. They got here a little late. I wonder if they're sleeping in a little bit, trying to recover from last night. And not only that, you've got a game coming up at 1 o'clock against England after this. Or sorry, up against Wales. Yeah, it's England, my fault. Against England as well. So you've got plenty of games all back-to-back pretty much. Is that fatigue going to play a factor today, Dylan?
Yeah, I think fatigue will sit in, but I certainly, because I came in on the bus with the Scotland squad, and they were all fired up when they came off the bus. So I think the fatigue will sit in, but that's not going to take away from their willingness to be fired up.
Now, I know as we look ahead to this game, Reese, Ireland, of course, strong squad. They've got a 16-man squad today. They're trying to cut down. They've been playing through different players throughout the past couple of games. They're trying to cut down for future tournaments and see which players they'd like to take with them as they go forward. When you look forward to this game today, are you looking for, is the rotation of Ireland going to be a big problem for Scotland, do you think, with the depth they have that they're going to use?
I think so, and I think that this is just really important, given, I think they switched out 3 or 4 players from the first game that they played to the second game, and I think they're going to do the exact same thing today. And I just think that from an Ireland perspective, this is just really, really important to narrowing down that squad, that huge squad that was around 20 or so players down to, 12 for the European Championships this summer. And against Scotland, I think this is probably their best test in terms of actually getting a win under their belt.
Well, they've got the European FIBA Under-18 European Championships to come this summer. As Ireland goes through their squad, we'll take you through the starting lineups and the bench for Ireland today. Starting for Ireland at number 0 is Tony Azonu. Next to him is number 4, Sean Fitzpatrick. Number 9 and captain for this game, Rory Cronin. Number 11, Ivaris Wozis, their leading scorer so far in this tournament. And number 24, Francois Nkoy are the starters. On the bench for Ireland today at number 2, Ryan Kahlo. Number 3, Daniel Carberry. Number 6, Brendan Dunala. Number 8, Greg Marinkovic. Number 10, Christian McDonald. At number 12, Jakub Paciesny. And number 13, Darryl Cuff. Dylan, who do we have starting and on the bench for Scotland today?
Sorry, say again, Atticus?
Who do we have on the bench and starting for Scotland today?
Okay, so I'll go through the full roster first. For Scotland, their head coaches are Corey McCabe and Harold Munoz, and their team manager is Darryl Wood. Number 32, Sachin Chandran. Number 33, Robbie Gilmore. Number 34, Flynn McCallum. Number 35, Ewan Burke. Number 42, Cole Barnett. Number 43, Brody Duffin. Number 53, Theo Pilkington. Number 54, Torin Dubiel. Number 56, Ross Grant. Number 68, Jack Hamilton. Number 79, Luke Gardner. And number 81, Luke Siegel. And their starting 5 are as follows.
Your head coach, Geronimo Munoz. Assisted by Corey McCabe.
So their starting 5 is 34 McCallum, 35 Birch, 42 Barnett, 53 Pilkington, and 81 Siegel.
Thank you, Dylan. Let's get down to the court audio for our national anthems.
I can't hear Atticus or Reese in my headset.
Well, the national anthems are all finished. Both teams just about ready to go. Our opening tip-off is to come in about 3 minutes' time. Both teams will head to the bench and get their final pregame talks before they get there. First of all, before we get to the game, big thank you to all of our sponsors here today. The BBL for supporting us and giving us the BBL player to help stream these games today. And a big thank you to Cardiff Metropolitan University for hosting this event, along with Dynamic, our official sports flooring partner for the arena and sports floors here in Wales, along with Wilson, the Basketball Wales national team official ball here today, Basketball Jones for our event sponsors and volunteer staff shirts, and iPro Hydrate for keeping all the players, staff, and coaches hydrated today. And now, as we look ahead to the game now, Dylan, where will Scotland win this game? What will they do to knock Ireland back and get their first win of the tournament?
I think their shooting presence, being able to, score from just inside and out, all across the floor.
So scoring across the floor is a big thing. Ireland were not able to score many points yesterday, and in their close losses, they just haven't been able to score a lot of points. That's something they need today. But for Scotland specifically, lots of players have been able to score for them in the past. Who are you looking to see score the most points today, Dylan?
I would say Ewan Birch. Yeah, he had a great game yesterday against Wales. So I would say he's a real leader for the Scotland squad.
Birch scored 9 points last night on only 4 of 17 shooting, so only 23% yesterday. He'll be looking for improvement today. We've mentioned this throughout the tournament. This is an under-18 tournament. You're seeing these players develop and grow right before your eyes. So the shooting should improve. That's not going to be something you'll see continue today. These players are improving every game they play and every game they have together. We'll be looking for more improvement today from the Scotland squad to overcome that tough loss last night to Wales. Now, Reese, as we look ahead to the Irish squad, who are you looking to see take over this game for Ireland as they look for their first win?
I think I'm looking at number 11, Ivaris Wosis. Yesterday, he dropped 20 points against England. Even though it was a 20-point loss, he was a bit of a bright star in that loss. He scored 20 points. He was 8 for 11 from the field, 72% from the field. Unbelievable shooting numbers from him. I think he's going to be the one that's going to take over for Ireland.
Plus, he's got the best hair in the tournament. Come on.
Yeah,
I love that.
So. Bit of a 90s throwback haircut, isn't it? Bit of the fringe frosted tips in it.
It's awesome. Well, both teams will head to the bench. We're a minute away from tip-off now. As we look ahead to this game that's about to come here, both fans behind them on the respective sides. Irish fans off to the right, Scottish fans off to the left. Dylan, plenty of Scotland fans here today. Obviously, you traveled down with the team as well. You think that has there been a good enough fan support here for the Scottish players?
Yeah, definitely. And it's great to see the support from the friends and family making the long trip down here to Cardiff.
I know this is not a easy place to get to all the way out from Edinburgh and Glasgow. So a good trip down for all the Scottish fans. Reese, we do see plenty of Irish fans here as well. We've been told lots of families and players, friends and families who have traveled down here today to be with them.
Yeah, and I know Cardiff Airport is not necessarily famous for being easy to get to and very easily accessible. But I think like the flight from Dublin is one of the few that is actually quite cheap. You were saying that some of these fans, it was only like about £30 or so to get a flight over here. So
trip.
That's not too bad, honestly. So it's weird to say that it's easier to get here from Ireland than Scotland. But the trek from Scotland, I mean, fair play to this lot. Fair play to you, Dylan, for making that trek. That is a long trip.
Now, another thing to keep your eye on as we get ready for tip-off here in just a moment's time, Ireland really struggled with turnovers yesterday. 56 turnovers from their 2 games. Their first loss against Wales, they had 20 turnovers, so, bad, but not as bad as it was against England. After 36 turnovers in that one, England scored 38 points off of those turnovers against them. Dylan, I know Scotland are a fast team. They're a high-energy team. How many can they force that same number of turnovers here today?
I'd imagine that's what they'd be looking to do, so yes.
We'll be able to have interviews with coaches and players at halftime and post-game as well. We'll be asking these players about what they've been trying to do today. We know we're excited for the high energy and tempo that both these players and teams will bring here. This is a really unique opportunity for both of them to play for your national squads. Most of these players are the Irish team as well. Only 2 players have been capped before coming into this tournament. So this is a really good opportunity to show their new starting squads and their new players here today, Reese.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say, Atticus, that this is the first home nations tournament since the pandemic, so it's a great opportunity to get all the squads out on the floor.
All the squads out on the floor for the first time since then, and also the first one in Wales.
Yeah.
So hey, a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Lots of nice shoes on display as well.
We're just about ready for the opening tip-off here to go up for the tip. For Scotland, we have number 53, Theo Pilkington, and across from him, Francois Nkoy, and that one goes back for Scotland, and they'll get us underway. Out of the ball to start, Finn McCallum hands it off to the side. C goes on it, he'll kick it back to the top. 14 on the clock, plenty of time left. Scotland driving inside. Running floater, no. Izonu with the rebound. Tony Izonu with one of the longest travels out to here, all the way from Dallas, Texas for this tournament. Wosis on the ball, drives inside, beats 1 defender, beats 2, and can't get the layup to drop.
Trying to put a bit of English on that one, a bit of jelly on the finish, and it was the right idea.
Fitzpatrick stolen away, going to the opposite end. He's got 2 players on his side. Wosis near the baseline, kicks it back. Izonu at the top to reset things. Had an open shot, doesn't take it, and Coy instead hands it off. Cronin back to Wosis now, drive inside. Kick back to Nkoy, loses it a little bit. He's got 5 seconds left to go. Ireland need to get a shot up. Izonu, he sees it, 3 seconds to go. Kick back, 3. Off the iron and out. Scotland with the board.
Great rebound there from Pilkington.
You can see both these teams have a lot of size. Scotland are a tall team, Dylan. Birch on it now at the top of the arc. The captain for today, 8 seconds to go. Sends it back. Seago, 3. This one's up, and it's too long again. Ireland with a strong rebound.
Yep, and Atticus, Scotland will look to use their height to their advantage in this game.
Plenty of rebounds on offer. Both these teams had tough shooting days yesterday. So better shooting needed today, but rebounds will be a big part of this game as Wosis knocks down an early 3. Ireland take the quick lead.
It's a great shot from the corner.
I guess they'll call that a 2 instead of a 3. So at the top now, calling for a screen is McCallum, looking for some help to come. Can't take advantage of the screen. Great defense there from Cronin. Keeps him back. 10 seconds left to go. Drive inside, going up. Still can't fall for Scotland. They get the offensive board. Gets his own rebound as Birch goes up on the opposite end. No, and nowhere close. Long pass. Cronin inside. 1-on-2. Going up, and it's knocked away out of his hand. And he's got it back. Out of bounds.
Oh, huge block there from Seago.
Fantastic defense there from Scotland.
2 blocks on that play they get credit for?
Yeah, I think so.
Good start for Scotland down in the paint. Only giving up that deep shot to Wosis. They need to score on the opposite end, though. Wosis from the exact same spot as before. That time, no.
And that's 3 possessions in a row that Wosis has taken a shot from the corner. I'd like to think that Ireland could create something maybe a bit more higher probability.
Another corner shot there from Scotland. That one's not going to fall. Fitzpatrick on the run. Cronin inside. 1-on-1. Blocked, and he's fouled.
I think he'll be happy with the foul there. That one's going to go into the highlight reel, I reckon.
Dylan, you agree that one a foul? Caught him on the head?
Yeah, just
a good way to put it. He was about an inch away, was Birch. You and Birch almost had that block. Well, 2 free throws to come here from Rory Cronin. Cronin only played in the second game for Ireland yesterday. Did not play in the first. In that second game, he went 0 for 2 from the free throw line. So already off to a better start here.
But I think Birch would be happy with that foul instead of letting Cronin get the layup.
They get the offensive rebound anyway. Cronin kicks it back, trying to find Fitzpatrick on the run. Can't do so. 3-on-2 here for Scotland if they can keep the speed up. Out to the opposite end of the paint. Good recovery there from Ireland, but then a reach-in foul called on Tony Azonu. So Scotland had the breakaway there. They just couldn't take advantage of it, and Ireland recovered well. They've got a lot of length of this Irish squad. You can see it. And they got in front of Scotland there on the opposite end. Scotland trying to figure something out offensively. And a 35-foot three. Why not?
Oh, that was way downtown.
Ewan Birch, first point of the game on the board for him. We have a tie game at 3. Back to Wosis. He's going to take the spot up 3. Trying to respond. It somehow goes in and out. McCallum drives inside, goes back to Birch. Birch from 3 yet again, and he's got it.
And he's on fire so far in this game. Ewan Birch, the only player to play down south in this Scottish squad. He plays in Milesca and Preston.
On the opposite end, Fitzpatrick trying to respond for Ireland. They will quickly. 6-5 though, Scotland on top by 1.
Yeah, nice quick reply there from Ireland.
McCallum hands it off here. Barnett hands it off to Seago again. Birch is looking for that 3. Fitzpatrick trying to deny it. Barnett driving inside, 1-on-2, running floater, no. Cronin another rebound. Cronin on the run here. He's got Azonu on the side, gets it over to Azonu, drives inside, lays it off the glass.
Lovely finish from Ireland there.
Yeah, it was a tough finish from Azonu there from right under the basket. Heavy pressure. Did well to finish it, though. It probably comes from his time from playing in the U.S., as you mentioned, Atticus.
You can see Ireland, they're locked into this game. Both teams really enjoying playing for their country so far. Seago handed off to Barnett now near the baseline again, trying to find the inlet pass, and it's taken away. If that foul's on Azonu, that's his second. And that's not. That's actually on Rory Cronin, his first foul.
I was going to say, I would have been upset if I was Azonu if that foul was called on me. He seemed a bit shocked that the foul was called, but yeah, it wasn't on him.
First substitution of the game for Scotland. Brody Duffin will come into the game there for Cole Barnett. So Scotland have the ball near the baseline. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. You got plenty of time after that reset. Seago comes around, running shot, and he's got it to drop.
Did well to stop his momentum there, Seago, and just pull up.
8-7, Scotland on top by 1. And Coy hands it off to Azonu. He's going to take a quick 3. Knocks it down. We wanted to see more of that yesterday, and he's got a good start here.
It's going to be Azonu and Wosis on offense today for Ireland.
Out on the perimeter, trying to come inside is Duffin. He'll hand it off and get stuck, and we've got an offensive foul. We're going to the opposite end. So Dylan, obviously Scotland down by 2. You're down 10-8 over Ireland. But I think Scotland will like the start that they've had. They just need to start hitting some shots.
Yeah, definitely.
Full court pressure here from Scotland. They've got 3 in the front court. Ireland do get it in rather easily. Handoff from Izonu there. Trying to find Fitzpatrick. Gets it to him at the top of the arc again. Dunala just checked into the game. Izonu comes around to the paint. Splits two defenders and dunks it!
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
That's the play of the game right there so far. Dump off inside. Izonu goes to the block. Can't get it. And a great finish there from Brody Duffin to respond.
I think Brody Duffin might have something to say about those best haircut in the arena chats. Majestic bit of flow there. And a good basket as well.
No kidding. The more important part. Top of the arc once again. Greg Marinkovic just checked into the game for Ireland as well. Izonu, free throw line, hands it off. Wosis takes the shot. Too short. Was running out of time on the shot clock. Needed to make something happen. Birch driving inside, gets to the baseline, beats the defender, lays it up, and it's off. Dunala with a big rebound.
And Scotland getting these good looks at the basket, but just can't quite finish.
Wosis inside, going up strong. He's fouled on the way up. That two's going to count, and one more to come. So you can see Scotland, of course, not putting down the shots that they'd like right now, and they're struggling to compete with Ireland. On the offensive end, Ireland doing mostly what they want right now. High-scoring game. That shot's actually not going to count, so he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 here. But 22 early points in this game, guys. This is a fast start, not what we've seen out of these two teams yesterday.
No, I think Ireland are going to look to get the most out of playing Scotland. I mean, probably the weakest opponent that they would have faced compared to the two teams that they played yesterday is Wolf just doesn't get that first free throw to fall, gets his own rebounds, puts the putback away. Nice 4-point play there from Wosis, but I think Ireland are going to look to really, really attack Scotland today, even with that size advantage that Scotland have got.
Scotland looking to respond from the perimeter here. Can't find a three to put up. They'll try to kick it over to the inside. Driving, goes back. At the top of the arc once again. 6 seconds left to go. Gardner is stuck with it. Gets over to McCallum. Driving, 1 second left to go. Can't get it up in time, and he finally does. But a shot clock violation doesn't count.
I think I would agree with the referee there. It looked like he left his feet just a half second after that buzzer went. These shot clocks, man, they go real quick.
You think 24 seconds is a lot of time, and it's not when you're on the court.
No.
Dylan, I don't think Scotland are going to like the offensive possessions they've had recently. Not only are they not hitting any shots, you're taking way too long to find a good look.
Yeah.
Dunala's going to hand it off here. Sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
And Reece, how do you think Scotland could, improve to sort of make, be able to make shots?
I think that they just need to try to get up the court faster, and as a foul on Ireland there is called. I think they just need to get the ball up the court faster, a bit more movement off the ball, give the player on the ball a bit more options. I think the player on the ball was picking up the dribble maybe a bit too early and killing a few precious seconds off the clock, but I don't know. Ireland's playing some pretty good lockdown defense at the moment, so it's tough to see. I bet the coach is going to have a better idea than I will.
Yeah.
Gardner takes it across center court for Scotland. Looking to make something happen. They got a good screen and roll here. Driving inside. Tries to brute force his way to the basket. Doesn't work. And a great rebound there from Daniel Carberry. Opposite ends. Ireland on the run. Darryl Cuff pulls up. Deep two. No. And Dunala almost grabs the board amidst 4 players. Chandran on the opposite end now for Scotland. Recently in the game as well. Hands it off at the top. Driving inside, nice little Euro step around the defender and in.
And I think that might be the key for Scotland on offense now, bringing in Chandran at the point guard position, getting the ball moving, drawing a bit more attention to himself and opening space for more players.
Doesn't matter, Ivaris Wosis knocks down another 3. Big celebration for him. He's on fire right now, 9 points.
And it's been a Wosis and his own new show on offense for Ireland so far.
At the top of the arc, Scotland trying another drive inside. A bit of a wild layup, no, but a great offensive rebound. 2-and-1 there for Scotland. Number 56, Ross Grant, recently in the game, makes Ireland pay in the paint.
Yeah, and he'll be key for Scotland inside the paint.
Now, Grant scored 13 points yesterday against Wales, 13 points and 10 rebounds, and he is a big man.
Yes.
He's taller than pretty much everybody in this game by at least half a foot. You can see it. Can't knock down the free throw, though, but they get the offensive rebound. So Chandran restarts thing for Scotland here. Gets it over to the side. Trying to drive into the base once again. Gets it over. Grant inside. 4-point play again for Scotland.
Yeah, and Ross Grant immediately making an impact.
A big impact as well. 19-16, Ireland lead by 3 as we head into the first timeout of this game, as we head into the bottom couple of minutes here of the first quarter. So, guys, obviously this is a really fast start. I love the offense we're seeing here so far. 35 points on the board already. Dylan, we did not see this yesterday from Scotland. Early scoring. This is good for them, even though they're down by 3.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think as we look at the box score here for Scotland, I like Ewan Birch's 6 points. Obviously, Ross Grant, though, bringing his 4 points off the bench along with Brody Duffin. Scotland need as much scoring as they can get from as many avenues as possible. I think both teams have been looking for that so far. Scotland doing a better job of mixing it around. But Reese, Ireland, you're scoring with Ivaris Wosis and Tony Azonu. Good start.
Yes, I think so as well. And I think Ireland are doing a pretty good job at keeping the rebounding battle similar. Both teams are on 9 rebounds apiece. So, you would have thought going into this game that Scotland, with their, just eyeballing that size advantage, and, Ross Grant sitting at 6'7", an absolute tree there, you would have thought that they would be kind of dominating the rebounding battle. But Ireland are doing their part, especially grabbing those defensive rebounds. But I think bringing Ross Grant into the game for Scotland is going to have a huge impact in terms of getting those offensive rebounds, as we just saw.
Well, not only are the rebounds important for both teams, obviously the movement and passing of the ball here. International basketball is difficult, of course. You don't play a lot of minutes with these guys a whole lot. So seeing 10 assists between the two teams already, 6 for Ireland, 4 for Scotland. Both teams moving the ball well. And Dylan, I think we can expect to see that from Scotland later today. Keep moving the ball, trying to find good looks with each other, no?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to. And hopefully that ball movement would be, that will help them get some nice finishes in this game.
We need those to come back out on top right now. Ireland in the lead, 19-16. Bottom 2 minutes of the first quarter. Wosis doesn't take the 3. Gets it over to Carberry instead. Free throw line, back, cuff. Wosis wide open. Got another 3. And it's knocked down. Head coach Paul Keller loves it. Another 3 for Wosis. He's up to 12.
And you see Wosis had that shot early in the possession. He gave it up and he did well to give that up because he was under a bit too much pressure. But he did so well to get himself open. His teammates are trying to get him the ball on offense, and you can see why.
Packed defense on the opposite end from Ireland as they stuff the ball out of the paint, going to Ross Grant. And Scotland throw it out of bounds for a turnover. Ryan Kahlo now takes it up the court for Ireland once again as they now have a 6-point lead. Another deep shot coming from Cuff. That time, no. Scotland on the opposite end here from Dubiel. Hands it off to the side. And another turnover. Actually knocked out of bounds off Ireland. This will be Scotland basketball still on the base.
I think from an Ireland perspective, I think they can do better than a corner 3, 5-6 seconds into the shot clock. I think that they can develop something maybe a bit better there.
A bit greedy, I think, after the good shooting to start the game.
Definitely.
Chandran gets it over to the far side. Dubiel hands it off. Deep 3 to come from Scotland here. Knock it down. Some action off the ball, but it doesn't matter.
Great shot there from Gardner.
Like you said, Dylan, Gardner, that's a good start for him. He'll need those.
And then, guys, how much more do you think both teams can keep up this fast-paced tempo, high-scoring tempo? Do you think they'll eventually run out of gas, or what do you think they can do to keep up this tempo?
I think Ireland have done a very good job at rotating their squad, as we mentioned pre-game. So I think some of these players have only got 1 game under their belt, 1 game under each of their legs. So I think that they're going to have the energy over Scotland to keep up this high-tempo play.
You can see the energy now. Ireland trying to streak for the basket once again. Far side, Dudela hands it off to the hot hand. Wosis, deep 2. Got it off the glass.
I love a bucket off the glass. When it seems unnecessary to hit it off the glass, it almost makes me think that it wasn't intentional. But with the hot hand of Wosis right now on 14 points, it had to be.
Well, he's the leading scorer. He's almost catching up to Scotland so far. Scotland with 19 points. Wosis with 14 on his own. Another steal here. There's Wosis again. He's on the ball. Ireland looking to keep going here. Stay on top. Takes the 3 on the step back.
Oh! Oh my goodness.
Buzzer beater at the end of the quarter. Knocks it down. 17 for Ivaris Wosis. Guys, let's be honest. There's lots of things that have happened in this first quarter. That's what matters. Ivaris Wosis knocking down everything he's taking right now.
And like you were saying before, international play, you don't get a lot of team chemistry. You don't get a lot of practices with each other. So it's a lot of ISO play. It's a lot of individual stuff on show. And you can see why, they're trying to get the ball into the hands of Ivaris Wosis. He was the one. He got the ball there, and you just knew. You knew as soon as he got the ball, he was going to take the ISO play. He was going to do the crossover. He was going to do the step back 3. But, a lot of times the players who get that confidence, they're gonna run out of that streak eventually. But 17 points in the first quarter, 17 points. That is a mental start from Ivaris Wosis. Huge for Ireland on offense so far.
Now, Dylan, I don't know about your thoughts, but if I'm Scotland, I'm sitting that bench going, okay, come on. Wosis has 17 points. Everybody else 8. Well, 10, I guess. So if we're Ireland, if you're Scotland and you're defending Ireland, I think you just have to start double-teaming Wosis now, no?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would have to agree. They're going to look to put that pressure on Wosis, definitely, yes.
Well, Wosis has had a great start here. He's got 17 points in this game right now. Yesterday, he only played in the second game for Ireland against England. He scored 20 points in that game, shot 8 of 11 from the field. Clearly, when Ireland went back to the hotel last night, they told him it's time to start taking some more shots because he's already taken 10. So he's going to double or maybe even triple that 11 shots that he took yesterday, guys.
Definitely, and you can see that their game plan on offense. More it's not as much of a factor when Ezonu's on the floor, but when it's just Wosis on the floor, you can see that even when players have some open shots, all that they're trying to do is draw defenders towards him to get Wosis open. That's their game plan. Move the ball. When Wosis doesn't have a clean shot, he moves the ball and then moves off the ball as well to try to get himself open for a more open look later in the possession.
Well, we talked about Ireland trying to rotate through their team ahead of their selections for this summer. They've rotated everybody but Wosis so far. He's been on the court for all 10 minutes, and he's on the court yet again as we start here in the second quarter. Ireland on top, 27-19, looking to build on that early opening lead. Fitzpatrick driving, kicking, 3, Carberry, in and out. Marinkovic, big offensive rebound, dumps it off, trying to go up strong. Wosis, and he's going to be fouled. 2 more to come from the free throw line for Ivaris Wosis.
And, those second chance rebounds are going to be key for Ireland.
They've made a big impact so far with those. And we mentioned before the game, Dylan, we thought Scotland with their size would be able to out-rebound Ireland. Not been the case so far. Now, as Ivaris Wosis comes in the line, he plays for 3 different teams out in Ireland. You've got the Tralee Imperials, the Tralee Warriors, and Reese. Help me out here. Dylan, I don't know if you'd know this either. How on earth do we pronounce this other team that he plays for? Polbolskoil Chorka Dweebna?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Let's Director, can we cut that off, please? I don't want that going live.
I'll admit, my Irish team names, I'm getting the hang of them. Maybe not so far. 1 free throw down for Wosis. He's up to 18 points now. Ireland still on top, now up by 9. Scotland trying to make a quick response here. At the top of the arc, trying to work their way inside. They get it over to Birch. Tries to find an inlet pass, and they still come away with it somehow. 4 seconds on the clock. Got to take the 3. Up and short. And somehow nobody else checked to it. Offensive rebound there for Scotland from Gardner. Driving again. Gilmore out to Gardner. Seago inside. Running shot. Wild one. Easy rebound. Wosis down the court quickly. Drives into the paint. Beats 2 defenders. Lays it up and in.
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic play for Ireland there.
He just drove through that traffic there, and he's just got that finesse. That's the difference, I think, between Ireland and Scotland so far. They've got the confidence when they hit the basket, when they reach the basket, to put away those layups, and Scotland just haven't had that so far.
Scotland trying to respond, and they do. They get a nice 2 to respond quickly from Ewan Birch there. He's up to 8 points. Fitzpatrick on the ball for Ireland once again on the weak side, and a bad reach-in foul. That's way too early there from Luke Gardner. Luke Gardner reaching in early on the shot clock. 2 substitutions here for Ireland. They'll take Wosis off the floor, give him a break here. I think they changed their mind. Trying to figure it out. And instead, they'll take off Daniel Carberry. I think we were going to say, guys, there's no reason to take Wosis off the floor right now. He looks like he's not tired, ready to go for more. Gets the ball immediately. Step back shot.
Oh,
okay.
My God.
He's not missing anything, guys.
Like, it's an absolute joke now. 9 for 12 from the field so far.
Scotland, though, respond extremely well. Drive into the paint there for Luke Seago. 2 and 1. Oh, and it doesn't count.
I don't think it does, anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't. So it's a foul before the shot, and it's going to be taken out on the baseline. Well, Ivaris Wosis has 22 points. Scotland's got 21, guys. I'm scared right now if I'm the Scotland bench.
Definitely, but my question is why I think you need to bring in Ross Grant to really, bring that size back into play. I think that's the strength that Scotland have got. They haven't got as much finesse as Ireland have got on offense, and they need to have that size inside to get offensive rebounds and some easy buckets inside.
Well, they get an easy rebound there. Great outlet pass over to Seago, but he just lost the handle, ran a little too far. Fitzpatrick trying to respond quickly. Gets it off to the side. And it's back over to the interior. They can't get the shot up and in from Pasiesny. And Scotland will rebound and away. Gardner at the top of the arc here. 14 on the shot clock. Scotland have the time to run the play they want. Waiting for a screen. It's taking quite a while here. Drive inside. Running shot. Off the glass and out. Lucky on the rebound. Sego's shot is out.
I think it's an issue of shot selection for Scotland right now. I think that I think going down early now, now they're down 11 points right now early. They were keeping it close even with the hot hand of Wosis, but I want to say Ireland, but Wosis has just extended this Ireland lead, and I think that's just been forcing Scotland to rush things on offense to try to claw their way back early.
Ivaris Wosis finally out of the game for a break here. And Scotland trying to take advantage immediately.
Nice steal from Gardner.
Opposite end, going up strong as Birch, he's got it.
Finish.
Like you said, Dylan, what a finish. Ewan Birch, really important for the Scotland team. 10 points for him already.
And Reese, what do you think Scotland could do to shut down Moses, or attempt to shut down Moses?
I mean, they've done what they can because Wosis is now on the bench, but I think now they have the threat of Izonu on the floor now, and I just think that they need to maybe cut down the paint a little bit and try to play a bit tighter defense. I mean, it's easy for me to say that sitting from here, but I don't know. I think that Ireland have just got so much individual ability. They've got the ability to just dominate isolation plays and create their own space. That Scotland just need to do what they can to do better to put shooters off their shots. Because Wosis, when somebody's got a hot hand like that, you just need to do whatever you can to get hands in the face. Be maybe a bit more physical, especially with the size that they've got on offer to try to put them off.
I remind you guys, Ireland only scored 58 points in both their games yesterday. They're already on 32 right now. Something changed from last night. Oh, and a deep shot way off.
I could tell that as soon as it left his hands. That was way off.
Sean Fitzpatrick takes it up, and it's stolen
nice
away
steal
here.
From Chandran.
Chandran opposite end, going up one-on-one. Oh, and he can't get it in. Kitty corners off the rim. And Izonu will get it off to the wing here. Ireland to reset. We'll see what plays they draw up without Wosis on the floor. It's another steal.
Birch for the layup. Oh, and he can't quite get the drop there.
Hard rims clearly affecting the Scotland squad. They can't hit any lamps right now.
Those are the ones that have got to go in if you're going to claw your way back into this game. I mean, it's single digits at the moment, a 9-point lead for Ireland, but oh, goodness me. And that was a hard foul for Scotland there, but those are the baskets that have got to go in there. And with Wosis not on the floor here for Ireland, I need to see what they can draw up here. I think they need to get the ball in the hands of Izonu here. And you can see he's trying to get himself open in the paint. It's going to be Duinola who's going to get the finish there. And it has proven that Ireland can get the points on the board without Wosis on the floor. Scotland with the deep three, though. Birch again, now on 13 points. And he's the only bright spark on offense for Scotland at the moment.
Duinola looking to make something happen for Ireland once again. Izonu driving inside. They're losing all the momentum right now, or Ireland. Another deep shot goes up, and they can't get it to drop. Izonu, big rebound. Strongly up and in.
Izonu's the bright spark when Wosis isn't on the floor, and you can see why. That physicality inside getting the offensive rebound and the putback finish.
And now Birch with control for Scotland. Chandran. Oh. Back to Birch. Birch launches it. Can't get the drop there.
Ireland blocks out well. Strong for a rebound. Fitzpatrick driving, kicks it back out to Izonu. Well, a dangerous man on the court right now on the weak side. Driving inside, 1-on-2, kicks it back. Move it around to the top of the arc. Pasiesny, woo.
I didn't like the form there from that shot. Did you see how he took a step? Did you see how his right foot took a step there before he put it up? You could just tell from the start that wasn't going to work.
Lovely finish there from Birch.
Ewan Birch now 15 points for Scotland, so he's trying to show he's every bit as good as Ivaris Wosis in this game. 36-28, Ireland up by 8. Out on the wing is McDonald. He'll get it over to Pasiesny once again. Drive inside, kick it out. Dunala inside, 1-on-2 here. Beats both, lays it in.
And Dunala does so well, though, to use his body inside. A little hesitation to get the Scotland man to jump there. Nice, easy finish under the basket.
That three is up and off from Ewan Birch. Not happy with that one, but I think if you're Scotland, you have to be all right and accept that because Birch is the only one who's really scoring right now for Scotland. Birch has 13 points, or 15 rather, and nobody else on the team has scored more than 4 as we head into this next timeout in the second quarter. So guys, Ivaris Wosas for Ireland's been off the court for a couple of possessions here these past few minutes, and Scotland started to respond well, and then Ireland are starting to dig things back once again using the rest of their team.
Yeah, and Ivaris Wosas, 12 minutes on the court, 22 points. Just redonkulous numbers, almost averaging 2 points a minute when he's on the floor. But, I think that, we mentioned before that Ireland have done such a good job in this tournament so far of rotating players. And I mean, that is with the objective of trying to narrow down that big squad that they've got for the European Championships that are coming up this summer. And, I think it's quite clear Ivaris Wosas is probably going to be in that team. But they've got a lot of talent on offer as well. Izonu at number 0. He's on 9 points so far. He's used his physicality where he's shooting 100% right now. 4 for 4 from the field. And he's shot 1 3 and he's scored that as well. And, I just think that they've got a lot more individual talent on offer on offense, even when Wosas isn't on the floor. Whereas Scotland, it needs to be a bit more of a team effort. I think they have to play a bit more nitty-gritty, a bit more physical, and that's just what they're not doing as much so far. I'm wondering why Ross Grant is not on the floor more. He's only played 4 minutes. He has 4 points, tied for the second highest points. And you saw when he was on the floor, he was grabbing those offensive rebounds, drawing the contact, and drawing attention to himself inside. That's my question. Why is he not on the floor more?
Dylan, you mentioned this before the game. Scotland need to spread the scoring around. Yeah. You did mention that Birch was going to be the answer to them, but they need to get more scoring on the board. They just don't have enough of it right now.
Yeah, and much like Lisa, I am a bit confused as to why Grant is not on the floor for Scotland.
If they want to win, they're going to have to put somebody in who can score some points right now for Scotland. Haven't had much of it so far. Handoff, Pasiesny inside. Scotland, though, showing they can still play defense in the paint. They're going to wrap this one up for a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to Scotland.
But you can see with Ireland, as I've been saying, when they seem to have a real game plan if they want to get the ball in the hands of their best shooters. So when it's not Wosas on the floor, it has been Izonu that's been on the floor, and that's been drawing that attention on offense from Scotland. And they're the ones that they're going to pass the ball around until they can get Izonu on a good shot. And if it's too late in the shot clock, whoever's got the ball in their hands is going to put it up themselves.
Chandran.
That one goes out of bounds off of Barnett's hands. That's another Scotland turnover there, 6th of the game so far. I haven't seen too many today from either side. 5 from Ireland, 6 from Scotland. Ireland have taken advantage of those. We'll take advantage once again here. Dunala driving inside, Euro step fouled on the way up. 2 shots to come. Barnett with the reach on the shot.
And I've been impressed with Dunala as well. He's done a good job of using his size. He's one of the players that can actually compete with the size that Scotland have got on offer defensively, and he's got such a good understanding of timing as well. He's got very good sense of hesitations when he's on offense and getting the Scotland defenders to bite, and that's why he's heading to the line right now.
Dunala will go to the line for a couple of free throws here. Part of the Ballincollig BC squad back in Ireland. Been part of this Irish team for quite a while. On the under-16 squad in the past, among others. Knocks down the first. He'll have another chance here to stretch this lead to 12. And he's able to do so.
I love his socks as well. Love them.
Hamilton has control now for Scotland. Duffin unable to finish there.
Izonu to the opposite end, takes it into the front court. Ireland fake from 3 from Pasiesny. And he loses the handle. A good steal there from Scotland, out of bounds. This will be Scotland basketball.
And you can see the emotion from the Scotland players. They're very happy with that.
What I don't think they're going to be very happy with is...
Knew that was coming.
Ivaris Wosas checking back into the game. They've now got Izonu and Wosas on the floor. The dual threat on offense for Ireland. I think those points are going to come back for Ireland. Is Cronin with the huge block for Ireland. And like we said before, you would have thought with Scotland, with their size, that they would have been able to use that to their advantage. But Ireland have done such a good job with blocks and rebounds so far to compete.
Birch looking to make something happen. Heavily defended. And Scotland are going to have to force it. Another block from Ireland. Great defense from them.
So Ireland will have to inbound this one along the side after the shot clock violation. Great defense there from the Irish side all throughout. And Scotland just couldn't find any space anywhere.
And Reese, what do you think Scotland can do to combat this Irish defense?
I think that they just need to get the ball in the paint more and just be more physical on offense and try to get some more simple buckets under the like right under the basket. I think they need to stop taking some of these deep shots because Ireland have got really good perimeter defense so far, as we just saw there. And they need to do something. They need to draw up some plays to get some more easy baskets inside.
Birch just can't get the finish there, but nice pass from Hamilton.
Speak of easy baskets, you got to finish that one.
That's the third time we've seen that now.
Wow.
And one.
Oh, little shoulder shrug after for Tony Azonu. Knocks it down. He's on 11 points, going to the line once again.
Little flex there afterwards.
Well, you guys just talked about easy baskets. You and Birch missed his, and then Tony Azonu went up on the other end. Looked like an easy layup. That was not an easy play, I can promise you. Massive step, incredible reach on that play, and to fight through the hand contact, great finish.
No, and that's been the difference on offense for Ireland today. It's that composure under pressure. You know, Grant there on the breakaway was not under a whole lot of pressure. He had somebody chasing him down, but he didn't have immediate contact on him, whereas Azonu had heavy contact there, and he still managed to have the strength and the composure to put that one away. That's the difference today.
Well, now 33 points between Tony Azonu and Ivaris Wosis right now. Ireland taking advantage of that on top of their 15-point lead.
Chandran with control, looks for the drive. And again, that one just goes off the back of the rim. And Ireland come back on the attack.
Fitzpatrick running, floater, no. Well, that seemed like it could have been an easier one instead of that running floater, but it doesn't go down.
I could say the same thing for Scotland on the other end.
There you go.
And Grant was effective in the paint earlier, but can't get that one to drop.
That one's going to be out of bounds off of Scotland. So Ireland basketball once again. Scotland really struggling at the moment. Can't get anything on the board. They're being outscored by quite a bit, 43-28. Ireland have outscored them 16-9 in the second quarter after that 27-19 first quarter lead. McCoy at the top. Fitzpatrick wide open three. Off the iron and out. Scotland finally can't get the board. Azonu steals it. Oh, and he can't finish it after. Stolen away once again, though.
Interception from Ireland.
Cronin, far side. Fitzpatrick stops, and Coy, he's going to go. Oh, he got bumped on the way up, so he'll be fouled and go to the free throw line for two more.
Foul is on Grant.
It's Ross Grant's first foul, so not in big foul trouble, but Ireland controlling things offensively. Tony Azonu goes off the floor to a big round of applause from the Irish fans and the bench. Great performance from him so far.
And Reese, what do you think Scotland need to do to get back into this game?
It's tough, but you know, like I've been saying, it's been a lack of composure on offense for them so far, and they just need to be able to, you know, put away some of these easy baskets. They've had 3 or 4 easy breakaways where they've had nobody within 10 feet of them on layups, and they just haven't put them away. So I mean, that would paint this game into a different story now. It'd only be single digits if they were managed to put those ones away. So it's the focusing on the little things for Scotland right now, getting the ball inside, focusing on the fundamentals when shooting, using their size to their advantage. That's just what they haven't been doing so far.
Chandran gets that one in.
Finally knocks one down. Sachin Chandran with his first 2 points of the game. Fitzpatrick, handoff, and Coy strongly up. Bounces around, and it's not going to fall.
Scotland looking to keep that momentum. Seagull has the ball. Seagull under a lot of pressure. Can't quite finish that one.
Far side, Rory Cronin fakes. Drives inside, beats everybody. Gets right up to the backboard and lays it up and in. And that's how this first half is going to end. An incredible performance here from Ireland as they're on top 46-30 as we head into the break. So we got a 10-minute halftime to come, guys. Scotland in some trouble right now, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, as we look at this 16-point deficit for Scotland, Birch has 15 points. Nobody else has more than 4. They seem like they're in a bit of trouble right now. We'll come back to the commentary box before we go to break. First, we're going to have a quick interview with head coach Paul Kelleher for the Irish side. Give us a few seconds to set that up. So we're here with head coach Paul Kelleher of the Irish squad. You just mentioned to me a moment ago, Coach, I mentioned this was a good first half for you guys, and you said not so much, and mentioned defensively. What are you not pleased with so far?
Yeah, our on-ball defence has been great in our rotation, especially around the rim. So that's something that we need to improve on. I thought we did a much better job yesterday in Wales in the second half with that stuff. England were just overpowering on us yesterday. They were more athletic, but we were still doing the rotations right, so it was just a matter of can we close the momentum space a bit more. I think we've left too much momentum space for Scotland, and they've hurt us on the wings. I think we've been fortunate that they've missed a few layups. I think the scoreline probably isn't as indicative as the gap in what we have. Offensively we've been better than we have the past couple of games, and we've had more uncontested and rhythm on balanced shots. But I think all in all the performance hasn't been at the level that I thought we'd get to from yesterday.
Now, as you go into the locker room here for halftime, obviously you guys have the lead. I'm sure they're going to be energetic as you go in there. Mm-hmm. How do you get the right tone to communicate that message to them so they can improve in the second half of your last game?
Yeah, our halftime has been fantastic over the last couple of days. We've just asked questions and they've come up with the answers, and we put a couple of things on the board that we feel that might need to be improved, and we've asked them, and every time they've come up with the answer, we turn the board, and they've had the same stuff as us. So I think we're in that perspective. I think we're in a great place. We're speaking our language. We're doing some really good things from that perspective. But it's the actual execution of what we know now is what needs to get better, and the consistency of that. So we've got long-term plans with this group, and that's the source of where we're getting to. So if we can improve our defense in this half, I'll be happy with the performance.
Great, Coach. Thank you for your time. Good luck for the second half.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the first half. We're going to be back for the start of the second half in about 7 minutes' time. Right now, Ireland on top, 46-30 over Scotland as we head into the break. 16-point lead, and we're going to go to this break. We'll be back in about 7 minutes' time.
You want team lists?
Yes, thank you so much.
Where?
Let me grab.
Show them what it is, yeah. When we do this again, we'll do this before the tournament starts, shall we? Oh, sorry. Is that okay? I think it looks fine. It's all the teams names. Yeah. Where we have numbers, I've got numbers. Not always, because a lot of what's been given to us as well. So when they've given them to us, we've got numbers in. So some of the so a couple of the teams did. So Ireland men did. They gave us 12 for this game, 12 that game, 12 that game. Some teams have only turned up 12, so it's the same all the way through. Other teams have got 16 here, but they haven't told us which 12 are playing and which one. You're halfway there with that. When we do this next time.
Oh yeah. This is a run through.
Yeah, absolutely. When we do it next time, we actually know. When we are, yes, there's something about guest Wi-Fi that needs use of. What they do have is a private Wi-Fi, but it needs. I know it's the holidays and it's Easter and no one's in, but can we have these things?
Thank you, no worries.
Great. Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the second half here between Ireland and Scotland as part of our 2022 Under-18 Four Nations Tournament. Right now, Ireland on top, 46-30 over Scotland. Before we get to an analysis of the first half and a preview of the second, first, a big thank you to all of our sponsors here today, for Cardiff Metropolitan University for hosting this event, the British Basketball League for supporting this event and streaming this on the BBL Player today. Wilson is our official Basketball Wales national team official ball, and the Wilson basketballs are being used here today. We're very grateful to them for their support, along with Dynamic, the official sports flooring partner for Basketball Wales, and Basketball Jones, our event sponsors for today. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Basketball Jones Wales or B-Ball Jones Wales on Twitter. And iPro Hydrate for keeping everybody, coaches, players, staff, and us hydrated as well. So, guys, as we get ahead here for the second half, let me ask you a very honest question. Be honest with me. Have you guys ever seen an alien before? A video of an alien spaceship?
No.
A video, yes. Yeah, defo, yeah.
Interesting you say that, because I think whenever you think of aliens, you think of bad videos being shot on like Nokia flip phones from 2004. It's all really grainy footage, and you wonder, how do astronomers never see this stuff? And aliens magically exist only from some guy in the wilderness with this flip phone who can see it. Really strange. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's not what this game's been. It makes clear sense why Ireland are on top. They're scoring with Ivaris Wosis. Scotland are not scoring easy layups. It's easy to see what the difference is right now, Reese.
Oh, gosh. That was the most roundabout way of doing that, but I love it. Absolutely love it. No, it's really kind of black and white, really. You know, Ireland have had the individual talent, the composure, and, you know, the two big scorers in Izonu on 12 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 12 points from 6 shots, unreal. And, you know, Wosis, 9 for 13 from the field, 22 points. You know, it's really black and white. They got their 2 scorers there. The next highest score is on 6 points for Ireland as Izonu sinks his first free throw and gets the first points of the second half. And then for Scotland, it's really been an issue of focusing on the basics, focusing on fundamentals. You know, they've got the size to their advantage. I think that they just need to get the ball inside, be a bit more physical, like I've been saying in the first half. And, you know, there were 3 or 4 absolute give-me layups that they didn't put away on fast breaks. And, you know, that makes it a single-point deficit for them. That's a completely different story to this game. And that was really how this first half went, as that ball almost took my head off there. You know, yeah, it's really black and white, really simple to see what Scotland need to do, but it is difficult when it's the fundamentals that aren't working to think about a tactical change. It's just a bit more focus and a bit more composure.
Scotland 1 second on the shot clock, have to get something up, and they can't. And a shot clock violation. Ireland basketball. Great defense from Ireland once again, led by Tony Izonu, forcing 18 seconds to go off that shot clock, leaving only 6 seconds left to try to find something on the perimeter. They couldn't do it.
And you see Izonu there at the end. You know, I think the shot went up after the shot clock went anyway, but he got a hand to it, he got a block to it anyway. And I was speaking to you, Atticus, at halftime here. I don't like using the trope that somebody or a player or a team wants it more, but it really, really looks like Tony Izonu just really just wants the ball more than Scotland do. You know, you saw in the first half that he was getting some steals, got a few blocks off there as well, getting some offensive boards and some putback finishes as well. Sometimes it is just that simple. When you're looking at it in eyeballing it, he just looks like he just wants it more.
Fitzpatrick now for Ireland, hands it off to Wosis. Driving inside, can't find anything here. Izonu, he'll kick it back out. And Coy, 3, got it.
Knocks it down. And Ireland just on form here in this game. Scotland will look to see if they can reply, as Gardner has the ball to Dubiel. Tries to get it inside to Ross Grant, but can't find him. And now Izonu for Ireland.
I thought that was going to be an unreal highlight reel finish there. A bit too wild, though, I think.
And McCallum for Scotland, inside to Dubiel.
Dubiel finally scoring his first 2 points of the game. Scotland in some trouble right now. They're down by 19. Ireland wanting to build on this lead and knock Scotland out of this game early. Wosis looking for it, won't take that shot, and Coy goes back to Izonu out on the perimeter. Got an option at the top of the arc with Cronin. He'll hand it off to him. 4 seconds to go. Cronin, spot up, 3, got it.
Unbelievable.
Wow. And I think in the second half, I think we're going to see the ball shared a bit more from Ireland. You know, I think ever since we saw Wosis go off there after that hot streak he had, when he came on, you could see that their game plan changed a little bit. They weren't forcing the ball into his hands as much, and I think that they're trying to get the rest of the team. You know, this is a showcase for them to see who's going to get into that squad. I think they've already decided that Wosis is going to get into the squad. Unbelievable.
Great save from him. Back to Izonu for 3, doesn't fall. But Reese, that was an impressive save there.
Yeah, definitely. A fantastic hustle from Ireland there.
But you can see, I think, that they're trying to share the ball a bit more on offense, and you've seen, you know, 3 different scorers already in the second half for Ireland, more so than we generally saw in the first half from Ireland. It was mainly Izonu and Wosis that were getting the scores.
Definitely so. Fitzpatrick now to take this one up the court once again for Ireland. Gets it off. Wosis inside, drives, hit hard, up strong. 2 more free throws to come for Ivaris Wosis. He's on 22 points right now and can build on that as Ireland have a 22-point lead over Scotland at the moment. So Wosis only 1 of 3 from the free throw line today, but of course hasn't mattered too much. So he's 9 of 13 on shooting throughout the day, 70% overall. As he'll come to the line here, he won the Ireland All-Ireland School Cup Under-19C Boys Final with Pobelskoil, I think that's how you say that, 57-34 over Gael Calaced Cheetherlock.
Oh, goodness
I don't
me.
know. Struggling with that, but he scored 36 points in that final, was the MVP of that game, and you guys can see that right now. Misses that free throw, though. Izonu almost grabs the board, and it's off the other way.
Gardner. But possession will stay with Scotland.
You see Wosis checking out of the game there as well.
McCallum inbounds to Gardner. Gardner sets it up. Can't quite knock it down, but Dubiel. Oh, and it's Ireland come away with it.
I look over and I see Reese motioning strangely with his hands. You didn't like that shot, did you?
I like the shot selection, but the form. I mean, I'm not the best 3-point shooter myself, but hand in the cookie jar is what I was always taught.
Izonu driving up inside once again. He's going to be fouled again. 2 more free throws to come at the line for Ireland. They've already had 14 free throws so far in this game. They're going to have 2 more to come here.
And Scotland really need to be careful with their fouls.
And like we've been saying, that's been the real surprise. You'd thought from eyeballing it, is Scotland, I think, make just about a full 5-man change. Yeah, I think so. That's been the real surprise, is the physicality that Ireland have brought to the show today. It's been Scotland that, when you eyeball it, have got the size and the physical advantages over Ireland, but it's Ireland who, I think, like I said, it's a case of them, wanting it more and trying to be more aggressive, and I think that's why they've headed to the line so many more times than Scotland have.
Well, they've got a 24-point lead now, and they'll stay 24, but Izonu doesn't care. He's going to grab the offensive rebound once again and throws it off the defender for good measure. Ireland basketball.
High IQ play there from Izonu.
So 3 offensive rebounds for Tony Izonu, 6 rebounds total. He's on 14 points as well, with 3 assists and a steal. Double-double watch, I think. Fitzpatrick, dump off inside, Cronin, wide open, easy basket once again. It's too easy for Ireland right now.
Yeah, fantastic finish for Ireland there in the paint. Chandra. He'll have to force it. It's fouled. Foul is on Hanbury. Nope. Was that an offensive foul?
Offensive foul on Scotland there. We got a timeout on the floor. Both teams will head to the bench. And, well, guys, it's a 26-point Ireland lead. They are close to doubling Scotland right now. Things aren't looking good for the Scottish bench.
No, and I think, you see Cronin, the captain for Ireland there, on the defensive end of the ball. He's got 8, he's got 8 points, which is the 3rd highest behind Izonu and Wosis in terms of scoring output. But you see, he is really the heart, and you can see why he's the captain. He's the heart of that defense, and you can see he's so excited every single time they get a stop. He's congratulating all of his teammates every single time that they kind of help Scotland run out the shot clock there. And they've just got more, even though I've been saying that they have such individual talents, they also on defense have just got such a team bond as well, and it's a real team show on defense and a real individual show on offense, and that's just a really successful dynamic, I think.
It's interesting you point that dynamic out, because at halftime, you guys heard the interview with Coach Paul Kelleher. He mentioned he wasn't happy with the first half, regardless of the scoreline, because their defense wasn't what they wanted it to be. And I think you've seen a big change in that defense right now from Ireland, Reese.
Definitely, and I think that I think it's a combination. A lot of times when it's a team on offense not scoring a lot of points, it's usually not just one team playing great defense. It's usually a combination of a team playing great defense and the offensive team not producing great offense. And I think it's definitely been a combination of those two.
Fitzpatrick up the court again for Ireland. 26-point lead, looking to build on it once more. They've only given up 2 points to Scotland in this quarter. Off the glass and in from Rory Cronin.
And Ireland have been the team that have been putting away those really difficult finishes. I mean, he made that look a lot easier. So much more finesse on that than I think any Scotland player would put on it.
Hamilton short there. It'll be Ireland ball.
And Scotland just don't seem to have an identity on offense, I think.
They're really struggling to find something definitive. Ewan Birch has 15 points, but that's kind of it. And it's not been a whole lot else. And even then, Birch is missing a lot of shots today. 6 of 17. Drive inside from Cronin once again. No foul called on that one as he's hacked on the way up.
Gilmore from the corner.
So it stays with Scotland. We've got a 14-second shot clock reset for them here.
Gilmore for three. Again, just short.
Stolen away by Ireland there, and then a foul called. Reach in on the breakaway, and they're going to have an unsportsmanlike foul called on this one. So 2 free throws plus possession to come, or 1 free throw rather plus possession to come for Ireland on this one. These things are just falling apart for Scotland right now.
Definitely, and I think it's maybe gotten to their heads. I said earlier in the first quarter when Hostess was going on that hot streak of scoring that Scotland were doing a decent job of actually trying to stay in the game. It was single digits there for quite a while in terms of the deficit, and then I think when it got to a double-digit lead for Ireland, Scotland on offense just started to rush things, and they haven't really recovered since that point. They've lost their identity on offense. They've been throwing up a bunch of threes, and it hasn't been super successful. 26%, 4 for 15 from behind the arc today, and most of those were from early in the game as well. I think that the scoreline has just gotten to their head a bit. They've gotten a bit too flustered on offense, and it's all just falling apart, I think.
Well, Carberry can't knock down either of the free throws after the unsportsmanlike foul. So Ireland will keep possession, though. Not a whole lot of harm done, and they lead by 28 points, so it could be a lot worse, I think.
That came out of absolutely nowhere in the third quarter. Ireland outscoring Scotland 14-2. Ugh.
That's an ugly stat for Scotland. You're not going to like that one at the end of the day today. So Scotland looking to get some momentum back in this game. That'll need to start at least with the defensive stop here. Ireland on a roll, looking to continue. Ozono, top of the arc, trying to drive inside. Forced back out. And moving it around. Fitzpatrick inside, up and around and under and in.
Oh!
Absolutely incredible.
The circus finish there. Up and around a full 360. Unreal.
And Gilmore gets some momentum for Scotland. Let's see if they can keep that momentum up as this game goes on.
Gilmore's first 2 points of the game. Cronin gets it over to Ozono. Top again, draws 2 defenders. Cronin inside. He draws the entire team to him. Pasiesny had a 3 there, but he couldn't corral it, and his foot stepped on the line, out of bounds. Another Ireland turnover. Well, I say another. It's only their 10th. It's not that bad.
No, it's not been much of a factor with how strong that they've been on offense and the output that they've got from their shooting today. 51% from the field. Just unbelievable shooting numbers. I don't think they're going to be too upset. I mean, if the head coach is going to be a bit picky, maybe he can go into the turnover numbers, but he's not going to be too picky when they're shooting
Gilmore
like that.
again. Knocks it down from the corner.
So Gilmore now on 5 points. Scotland trying to inch their way back into things. You're going to need a lot more threes and some steals, and they've got a steal here.
Yeah, nice steal there from Chandran. Oh, and it's intercepted by Ozono.
Ozono's everywhere. Taking control of things right now. That's his 4th steal. Another 3 here. Kahlo can't get it to drop. Wow. Knocking it around. Carberry gets it back to Ozono, and Ireland will reset once again. Dump off inside. I was going to have to kick it back out, and he will. Carberry beats 2 defenders, tries to beat another one, and he's fouled on the way up, and 2 more free throws to come for Ireland again.
And they've just had that idea all game. If they haven't gotten the open shooting look from behind the arc, they're just going to drive, and they just have something more physical about them when they've been driving. They've got more aggression when they've been driving to the basket, and they haven't been super focused on trying to put the ball away as well. But I say that, and they've done a really, really good job under heavy pressure to have the composure to actually put away some of those tough, heavily contested finishes.
Carberry knocks down 1 of 2 free throws. Ireland on top by quite a bit right now.
Hamilton has control for Scotland. This is Chandran. Duffin. And Gilmore again! Just overshoots that one.
Defense got a tip to that one, and Ireland will go off to the opposite end. Izonu looking to drive inside once more.
Wow.
It was blocked and it didn't matter.
Wow.
Still powers it through.
Any little boys. Oh my goodness. The disrespect. Oh my
what a
goodness
block.
me!
Block away from behind, on the run for Pasienski. Just can't find him. But Tony Izonu right now making things happen for Ireland. First of all, with the incredible finish, then that block, and Reese, your favorite, the sit-on-down celebration after.
He's having an absolute blast out there today. He gets a nice reception as he subbed out for Wosis there. But geez, they're just having a good time out there, Ireland, right now.
Chandran for three. He's off the back of the rim.
No foul called there. 65-37, Ireland on top right now by 28 points. Wosis inside, driving, no. It's going to be knocked around. And it's going to be Scotland basketball after it drops out along the baseline. So 23 points for Ivaris Wosis, 17 for Tony Izonu, and they got 40 points between them, plus another 10 from Rory Cronin, just for fun. And they're looking unstoppable right now, guys.
I mean, Izonu, 66% from the field. Wosis, 69% from the field. Just what can you do if you're Scotland there? I mean, I said in the first half that they needed to do a little bit more to put them off, but when especially Izonu is just coming at you like an absolute truck, there's just, and he's got the physical edge over you. There's not a whole lot you can do to try to put him off. And they've done their best to put him off. They put their hands up on some of those layups, and he still put it away. Like, I just don't know what the answer is for Scotland defensively.
Well, there may not be one right now. 2 free throws from Chandran here. He misses the first. He'll have a second to come.
I think the only answer is you need to score more on offense. If you're going to allow that many points on defense, you need to score more on offense. But I say that's the answer. I don't think that's going to happen.
No. Ryan Kahlo now. It's deep pass. Long. And he's found a man. It's out of bounds. Couldn't corral the pass to Daniel Carberry. So Ireland turned the ball over. But, again, they're looking for these great passes, and they're finding great looks. And they just need to make sure they don't get too sloppy here and give Scotland a way back into the game.
I want to give a shout out to the referees today, honestly. I think I've liked the flow that they've had in this game. Good calls, no huge missed calls, I don't think. Good refereeing today.
Nice ball movement from Scotland. Chandran under a lot of pressure, but he draws the foul.
So 2 free throws here for Scotland. I'd like to add, Reese is saying that about referees because he's feeling the pressure from referees in the arena. He's had referees come up to him and say, Reese, come on. You got to stop hammering our calls all the time.
No
Reese
shot.
feeling the heat.
No shot. I am always cordial and appreciative of the refereeing. I used to be a referee myself, and I know how difficult of a job it is, and I think that they've done a great job today. I think it's you, Atticus, who needs to be answering to the referees. It is always me that always caveats calls with they probably have a better view than I do, which is usually the case.
Well, Pasienski's fouled here. Referees blow the whistle there, and he'll go to the line for 2 more once again.
Yeah, Ireland once again being very successful with getting to the line.
Pasienski doesn't have any points in this game. He'll have another chance here. Hasn't scored at all throughout this tournament. So he's looking for his first points of these past couple of days. And he's finally got one down. So his first point here, played for Longford Phoenix back in Ireland, was 100% on free throws in the EYBL Under-17 League this season. I think he only had like 3, so it wasn't really that many, but he knocked them all down.
Why are you saying that when he's taking free throws, Atticus? We know the commentator curse. You can't say he's 100% from free throws when he's taking a free throw because he's obviously going to miss.
Speaking of a miss, there was one there. And now Ireland with another rebound, and they'll go to the opposite end. Under heavy pressure here, though. 2 seconds to get it across. They finally do. Dunal has got it. Flips it over. Carberry open. Scotland backtracking here. They do knock it out of bounds. Give themselves some more time. 12 on the shot clock. Scotland struggling to keep Ireland under control right now.
They've had a few spells here in this in this end of this third quarter, where they've had some actually really impressive tight defense, high intensity. They've caused Ireland a few issues getting them out of the backcourt, and you saw there, lots of tips in some of the passes here. Oh goodness, Wosis just bricks it off the side of the glass there.
I don't think it's going to matter too much. Wosis with his 15th shot, he's 9 of 15. That's a great day. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Seagull again can't quite finish. Ireland come back on the attack.
Pasiesny fakes from 3. He gets the defender to bite, drives inside, and somehow it doesn't drop. Oh, he deserved that one.
Yeah, I think he's upset with himself with that one, but he did great to throw the Scotland defender off there, draw the contact.
Under a lot of pressure, and he gets the drop. Nice shot there from Cole Barnett.
So 27-point Ireland lead, well on top of things right now. Spinning around, looks for space. You got 7 seconds left in the third. Wosis loses the handle. It's on the ground. Scotland with the chance here.
Pass. And what a finish from Seagull to end the quarter.
Well, Seagull scores a bucket at the end of the quarter for Scotland. They're down by 25, 66-41. Ireland heading into this break before the fourth quarter with a huge lead. And guys, every single person in the starting 5 has scored for Ireland. More importantly, every single person for Ireland is shooting 50% or above who's been part of their starting 5. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's just phenomenal.
It's some just ridiculous shooting numbers today. And, I think, like I said, it's been a real team identity on defense, especially in that third quarter. It let up a few times there, especially towards the end there. But I think the head coach for Ireland can only be just really, really happy with the shooting. But you also need to take that with a bit of a pinch of salt going forward. You're not always going to have shooting days like that. But, I think today, I think it's safe to say they're probably going to walk out of here with their victory that they've been so craving in this tournament so far. And I think a big difference that we haven't mentioned so far is this is going to be Ireland's final game, whereas Scotland have still got another game to come later this afternoon. I wonder how much of a part that's going to play in how Scotland have actually set up in this game today.
Well, what we will like, if you're an Ireland fan, your head coach Paul Kelleher mentioned he wanted to see a little more defensive action, more defensive movement, better defensive play here in this third quarter. You've seen it so far. They've held Scotland to 11 points, outscored them 20-11. Similar repeat of the second quarter, if you will. Mm-hmm. Ireland outscored Scotland 19-11 in that quarter. But Ireland defensively, those 11 points, I honestly could not tell you what they've come from apart from that one layup here at the end from Scotland. They're just, you don't remember them because Ireland are swarming to the ball so well and forcing so many turnovers and generating better looks on their end.
No, and it comes back to me saying that Scotland on offense just haven't got an identity. With Ireland, it's easy to say their identity is that, if they're going to try to get the ball into the hands of Izonu and Wosis and get maybe a deep look. And if that doesn't work, whoever's got the ball, whether it be Izonu or Wosis or anybody else who's got the ball in their hands, is going to drive inside and either get a nice layup finish or they're going to go to the line. I think some of the numbers that really speak volumes is Ireland have taken 22 free throws. Scotland have taken 5. And I think that just paints the picture of how aggressive the Ireland have been when they've been driving to the basket and drawing contact.
Well, Scotland will start us up here at the start of the fourth quarter. That 3 up and off. Scotland get the offensive rebound, put it up, and they still can't get it to drop. They'll grab another one. A second offensive rebound fouled on the way up. And they go to the free throw line for a couple more here. Cole Barnett to the line. Coach will call the players over for talking to here before these free throws are taken. Make sure Scotland get the plays they want and the sets they want before the end of this game. That first free throw up and off. Tough shooting day for Scotland from the free throw line. Reese mentioned they've had 5 free throws, and now they've had 6, and they've hit none of them. So not looking too great.
I probably should have mentioned that when talking about free throw numbers. But
hey, see, the curse works the other way.
There you go.
Kahlo now dumps it over to Nkoy. Drive, penetrates the paint, and he's got it in off the glass.
And there it is again with that identity. If it's not in the hands of Wosis or Izonu, who actually, both matter of fact, are not on the floor, and I have a feeling we probably won't see them for the rest of this game, they're going to drive and they're going to be aggressive and they're going to do whatever they can to put Scotland off inside the paint.
Barnett inside again. McCallum gets the rebound. And Scotland still unable to convert.
Marinkovic now gets it to the corner. Cuff drives inside, pulls it back. Ireland just sort of moving around the same positions, looking for whoever's open. Cuff is open now. He's not going to take the shot. He's got Pasiesny behind him. He won't take it. This time he's going to drive 1-on-2 here, and he's fouled. Reach in on the way. That's going to be a foul on the base, or an inbound from the baseline, rather. That foul was not a shooting foul. So like you said, Reese, Ireland going to their bench here, likely going to see much of their bench throughout the rest of the game. Nobody on the bench has more than 12 minutes on the floor, so I think you'll see a lot of action here as they look to close out this tournament strong and cycle through that roster.
Definitely, and I think you know, with the objective being to narrow down that squad going into the summer, I think that this is the chance for these players here in this fourth quarter to show who really deserves some of those final spots.
Francois Nkoy and foul down low on him. So this will be Scotland basketball as they inbound it here. Oh, stolen away, and then an easy basket. Can't get it to drop. But hey, Marinkovic gets it up. He doesn't get the shot to fall, but he does get the foul and got the ball to stick in the corner. Pretty cool, I'd say. No 2 points, but that's all right.
Oh, goodness me.
At this point, you don't really need a whole lot more points. You're up by 26. It's 68-42. Ireland dominant right now. And Marinkovic will head to the line for 2 more free throws.
And Atticus, if you're Scotland, what are you trying to? What are your goals for this fourth quarter? What are you trying to achieve here? Because I'm not really sure what they can. I mean, obviously they're not going to get a victory out of this one. I say obviously anything can happen, but I don't think they're going to get a victory out of this one. What are they going to look to do to improve on going into the last game?
Yeah, one more game to come, and you've got to start scoring some points, and you've got to show that you can score against England. You need to get some good offensive looks right now and take advantage of those.
And McCallum, short there. Ireland come back with it.
Quick pass long. That's not going to go anywhere. Knocked out of bounds.
Goodness me.
Ireland will call a timeout here. Their coach, Paul Kelleher, looking to take advantage of these last few minutes and run some plays to prepare his squad for the rest of the game and for their tournaments to come. So right now, 69-42, 27-point lead. Dylan, we were not expecting this from Scotland, I don't think, before the game.
Definitely not, but I think, perhaps fatigue from yesterday it's setting in. A late game yesterday, early games today, and
as you shrug your shoulders after, I completely agree. That's exactly how it seems right now. Scotland, they played at 5:30 last night against Wales. Tough, physical game. Really loud crowd here. This is obviously at Archers Arena here in Cardiff, Wales, is the home court for the Welsh side. So very high energy game. You lost by 1 at the end of the game, gave up a couple of free throws in the last minute, and you were burned as a result. And then you got to wake up early today and get on the court here for a game at 9 o'clock after you got to the hotel at about, what time did you get back to the hotel last night?
well, the girls' game was afterwards, so about 10.
Oh my goodness.
So you get to the hotel at 10, you got to go to sleep, and then you got to get up early and get here, and that's a tough schedule, man.
Yeah, it is, but it is what it is, I suppose this is the stuff you've got to do to represent your country, The schedule is what it is, and then we've got a long journey back tonight as well.
So you guys are going back out tonight?
Yeah.
By bus or by plane?
Coach.
Coach, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's a long trip.
Yeah.
Well, they're looking to go in with better emotions onto that coach ride. Scotland trying to make anything happen that they can before the end of this game. Ireland looking to continue their dominance through their bench right now. Kahlo moving it around the perimeter, cuts inside, beats the defender, tries to hand off to Nkoy, stolen away.
Gilmore. Again, just warned by the Irish defense. The possession will stay with Scotland. It'll be Siegel to inbound.
Not sure what kind of issue we have here. Waiting to see. It looked like they were pointing at the score clock. I think they're just trying to wait and see if they need to reset the clock at all or if they leave it at 17. Let's see.
It looks like they're going to be resetting it to 14 there.
And they will. So shot clock reset to 14, Scotland ball.
Siegel to Gilmore. Back to Siegel. And now Birch. for three. Just short there.
And Atticus, when you're mentioning that going into this last game against England later today, that they need to get a bit of a hot hand going into that game and get some offensive points on the board, that is the last thing that I would be looking for as a Scotland head coach, is a deep three, few seconds left on the shot clock. You're about 5-6 feet behind the arc. And that was a good foot or two short as well. That's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah, this is tough for Scotland today. They're not finding anything they like. Paciesny from three, he'll miss it as well.
And bear in mind, before that game against England later today, you know, they're going to need some rest.
They'll have a couple of hours. The Scotland women will play the Irish women in the game after this at 11 o'clock, just about to tip off for that one. And that's all the rest of the Scotland players will get ahead of the England game. And Coy for three, off the front iron, and it goes out behind. And this will be Scotland basketball. So this will be the end of Ireland's tournament here. The men's team, if they win here, which it looks like they will, they'll go 1-2 in the tournament. Losses to England and Wales, but a good win here over Scotland. And then the women's team to come after this, they also have 2 losses, but they can get their first win of the tournament against Scotland, and that's the last game for both those teams for Ireland. That shot up and off, and Ireland with the rebound here. Brew McDonald will go back to the opposite side of things with Ryan Callow. Cuff in the corner, 16 on the shot clock, 69-44. Ireland big lead, deep shot, got it.
I like it. That was a pure shooting stroke there. And it really impresses me whenever somebody can stop their momentum and pull up and keep the form and keep the hand in the cookie jar there, as I mentioned before. Really impressive stuff there.
Yeah, and Ireland have just been so clinical. And now Gilmore for Scotland. To Butch. Dubiel. And Butch grabs the offensive rebound. Butch knocks it down.
Tough finish there from Birch. Probably the only bright spark on offense today. Now at 19 points.
Nobody else on the Scotland team has more than 5. That's Gilmore off the bench. And Coy inside, goes for the dunk, it's off. Can't drop it.
Butch again comes back from Scotland. Butch can't get that one to drop. And Siegel knocks it down for 3 from the corner.
Siegel now is 7. Scotland starting to get some momentum back. You're still down by 22, but cutting it down a little bit. Drive inside for Darryl Cuff. That shot won't fall. And it's going to be out of bounds off Francois and Coy. This will be Scotland basketball once again. Ireland just haven't hit a couple of shots in the last few possessions. It's probably too late for Scotland to come back here, guys. About 5:37 left to go, but making things interesting. Starting to close the gap a little.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, like you said, they're just trying to get some momentum going into that next game against England. And I think they've done a better job of that in this fourth quarter. They have still only scored 5 points in this quarter, so it's still just not great on offense. But, you know, I think that if there are any positives to take, it is that momentum going into the next game.
Inside with the assist from Dubiel.
So Marinkovic takes it up for Ireland now. We are back to a 20-point game. Scotland trying to get it back into the teens. We're looking to force a turnover here. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Ireland taking their time with their sets. Marinkovic, far side, splits, comes inside. 2 defenders draw to him, and it's back and stolen away.
Nice finish from Butch.
So we're back to 18. More competitive now. Scotland, a lot of energy, a lot of pressure here. Ireland feeling the heat right now. And Coy drives inside, kicks it over, and McDonald misses the easy layup.
Yeah, perhaps Scotland have found their rhythm late in this game. And Butch can't get that drop.
Marinkovic, far side, one-on-one, drives inside, kicks it back, wide open. This should be a 2, and it is, and it's off.
Wow, great steal.
Yeah, fantastic play from Ireland. But they can't convert on the other end, but they'll steal it again. Unable to convert that time either. And now Gilmore from Scotland. Gilmore, and he draws the foul. thought it was going to be an and one there, but he will go to the line for 2.
Goodness me, that timeout buzzer. Oh,
Scares you every time, Reese.
it does. You see me every single time I jump a little bit. It's a bit too loud for me.
So an 18-point lead for Ireland as we head into this timeout here. Scotland with a couple of free throws left to come. I mean, look, Ireland have been playing their bench players throughout most of this fourth quarter, trying to spread around the action throughout the entire team. So really haven't seen their top lineup out there. That might be why Scotland's been able to come back a little bit, Reese. But I think, what positives do you take away from those last few minutes if you're Scotland right now?
I think it's got to be the defensive side of the ball. They've had a bit more intensity, gotten a few more steals than they'd gotten throughout the entire rest of the game. And again, I think that goes hand in hand with, Ireland resting some of their key offensive outlets. But, it's a combination. Ireland are going to take the positives of getting some of those players that haven't gotten as many minutes in this tournament, getting them out on the floor. Scotland have outscored Ireland 12-5 in that fourth quarter, so I think that's a positive. But again, that comes with the caveat of Ireland not having their strongest lineup out there.
Yep.
I think they've had a bit more composure when going up to the rim. There were a few missed chances there again, though, like that and one before the timeout, or what should have been an and one before the timeout, where Ireland were finishing those in the first 3 quarters of that game. And again, that's been the real difference here today, is Ireland have just had that composure at the rim that Scotland haven't had. But I think they can take a lot of defensive momentum going into the game against England, against a bit of a powerhouse on offense.
So a couple of hours to come after this one. Scotland against England. That game to tip off at 1 between the men's squads. At 11, though, the tip-off between Scotland and Ireland for the women's teams.
Gilmore 1 from 2 from the line.
Kahlo with the rebound, and Ireland will take this off to the other end. So over 3.5 minutes left to go. Ireland looking to close things out strong here. Kahlo under heavy pressure immediately gets it over to Nkoyo, loses the handle. Almost taken away, but not quite. He still got it. 6 seconds to go. Ireland looking to make something happen out of nowhere right now. Marikovic going to have to take the shot.
Have to force it.
And he doesn't get it up in time.
But comes back. But with that, an and one for Ewan Birch there.
Loudest cheer of the day for the Scotland squad and for the fans. It's about all you've had to cheer for so far in this game, guys.
I believe if
we missed who the foul was on.
Unsure who the foul was on there, but Birch will go to the line for a potential 3-point play. He's unable to complete the 3-point play.
And I think one of the major negatives that Scotland are going to take out of this game is the free throw shooting, as you mentioned before, Atticus. 2 for 10 from the line. And I mean, when you're going to the line that many times less than your opponents, Ireland going to the line 24 times. They're taking 24 shots anyway from the line today. Scotland only taking 10 shots from the line, but only converting on 2 of them. I mean, those are the ones, when we talk about gimme points that Scotland have missed out on, is Ireland just throw it away there. Literally throw it away. When we talk about the gimme points, I mean, you're never going to score 100% of your free throws, but it's got to be better than 20% from the line.
Definitely so. That's completely untenable. And obviously, this is a youth tournament. We've seen free throws be missed by all teams. Ireland only shooting 54% from the free throw line, but that free throw shooting's been a big struggle for Scotland today.
Birch for 3. Again, just short.
That one bounces up the rim and above, so this will be Ireland basketball once again. Ireland, just an impressive day all around. Really, when you look at this, the box score here, Scotland have taken 74 shots. They've only been out-rebounded by 1, but Ireland have just taken advantage of all the opportunities given to them. Ireland taken 63 shots. They've hit 41% of those. Scotland have taken 74 shots and have only hit 32% of those. Foul called here on Scotland, so Ireland basketball. But Reese, I mean, Ireland have they've done what they wanted, and especially Scotland just have not been able to stop them ever.
Definitely, and I mean, you mentioned the total shot numbers there and the shooting percentages. I think it's been a big difference. I wouldn't necessarily say that Ireland, as they missed the corner 3 there, I don't necessarily say that Ireland have created better shooting opportunities than Scotland have. Maybe minorly so, as I mentioned before, that Scotland didn't really have an identity on offense throughout this entirety of this game. But I think it's been a big matter of Ireland just having the composure and just putting away more difficult baskets than Scotland have. It's just been really just a difference in quality on offense, as we surprisingly actually see Zonu back on the floor and Wosis. Maybe this game is getting a bit too comfortable or a bit too close.
You got to give your players the last few minutes of this tournament before you all go home tonight.
Definitely.
Drive inside board there from Wosis once again. Ivaris Wosis 23 points, 5 rebounds right now. Tony Zonu has 17 points and 9 rebounds. He's one away from a double-double. Cronin drives. He'll send it out on the wing. And rotated around for Pasiesny, who loses the handle on a Scotland ball here.
Yeah, Buck scrambles for the ball. Siegel. UBL.
And there it is. It's that composure under the pressure there. Beats his man with the really, really nice and confident Euro step there, but it's that composure again. He loses the handles there. That is the difference, as I've said so many times today.
Well, Ireland inbounding here through Rory Cronin, the captain today. He's only had to play 13 minutes on the floor. It's just how dominant Ireland have been throughout. Bottom 2 minutes of the game now, 71-56, 25-point Ireland lead. Back to Zonu. He'll fake it and get it over to Cronin from 3, and it's off.
And again, what an interception from Ireland there, but looked like it was going to be an interception, but Scotland come away with it. And Seagull sinks the 3 off an offensive rebound from Chandran.
71-59 now. Things are being cut back quite a bit here. Now down to just a 12-point lead.
There is still time. It's not over.
Oh, we got a foul there on Scotland. So 2 free throws to come here for Ireland. That's the last thing you want to do after giving up or getting this game back as close as you've gotten it so far for Scotland. So Ireland to the free throw line once again. 2 free throws to come here from Rory Cronin, the captain today. Cronin misses the first, plays for the Limerick Celtics and Castleroy College out in Ireland. Hoping to be part of that European Challenger Championship squad this summer. Misses both free throws, though.
Goodness me, these must be some really hard rims or something. And we have heard that complaint before in the Arches Arena.
Nothing there. He's frustrated with that, but Scotland get the offensive rebound. Seagull tries to get it to Chandran. He scrambles for the ball, but Moses comes away with it. And now Fitzpatrick. Zonu.
Back out to the baseline, spinning around, drives inside, hitting the face, drops it in, asking for the end one, not going to get it.
Fantastic play from Ireland.
Well, Ireland grabbed the rebound off of that miss. Sean Fitzpatrick will take us away to the opposite end. So bottom 25 seconds of the game, 14-point Ireland lead. They'll come away with the win here. Zonu's going to try to throw a 3 just for fun, and he's got it.
And that's going to bring him to 20 points as well. Wosis on 23, Zonu on 20. Just a dominant offensive display from those two today.
Really impressive performance from Ireland all around. Scotland have not been able to cope with it. They'll try for a basket here and won't get it. And with 5 seconds left to go, Ireland can just run out the clock, and they will. So that's how this game will end today, 76-59. Ireland pick up a victory in their 3rd game of the Four Nations tournament by 17 points over Scotland. Scotland came back and tried to make things interesting in the 4th, but they just weren't able to finish things off, and Ireland walks away with the win here. Final thoughts from you guys on the games today. Reese, you first.
Really impressive offensive performance from Ireland, as I've said so many times today. And Wosis, the one that I shouted out before the game. He had 22 points within 12 minutes of play, and he only got 1 more point in the rest of the game there. So just real dominance in terms of offensive quality from Ireland. I think Scotland are going to look to, improve on a few of those things that I mentioned today in terms of defense and the composure on offense when they play England later today at 1 o'clock. So I think Ireland can be happy they finally gotten their win today in this tournament.
Dylan, final thoughts from you before the close of this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely phenomenal display from Ireland. And then, Scotland just finding some form of rhythm then in the last quarter, but really struggling offensively for the first 3 quarters of the game.
Well, just an impressive all-around victory here from Ireland. We're going to try to have an interview with one of their players before we close this game today. Still to come, Ireland women up against the Scotland women. That game set to tip off at about 11 o'clock. Might be a couple of minutes delayed because of this game, but our stream will be up by then, and we'll be ready to go for that one. This, again, will be the final game for the Irish women, but the Irish men closing this one out strong. We're going to have Tony Azonu and Ivaris Wosas coming over. Give us a few seconds to set up those interviews, and we'll be right back with you. So we're here in our interview studio post-game here. I'm here with Tony Azonu, Ivaris Wosas. Guys, 43 points between the two of you, but more importantly, a dominant victory here today. You guys led the way. Ivaris, let's start with you first. Your thoughts on the game today. What kind of turnaround did you guys have this morning?
Well, yesterday we just had a tough start. We should have been much better from the start, especially against Wales. I feel we could have done better. Against England too, we had 36 turnovers. That wasn't good enough at all. But we were hungry this morning. We were 0-2. We wanted to get a win. And we come out gunning for it. We wanted to get a win. 1-2, we should have done better, I feel. But credit to Scotland and obviously credit to our team because, we scored a lot, but with our team, we wouldn't have scored anything.
Tony, I'll ask you about that. You mentioned, Ivaris, that you guys came out hungry here today. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room last night and this morning? Were you guys ready to go there?
Last night, we were ready to go. From last night, I couldn't sleep. I was too ready to play this game because, I went 0-2 yesterday, so we needed the win today. And we got it now. It was a big victory, so I'm really happy with it. So
dominant 17-point victory over Scotland. What positives do you guys take away as you guys go to the future? I know you've got the European Championships coming up this summer. What are you guys looking forward to as you guys go into the future with the Irish squad?
Especially to start this game, we were starting to really look like a team, and so that's really exciting because it's only in April. Europeans are in August, so we're looking like a really good team. So I'm looking forward to it. So
good to hear. Ivaris, last thoughts from you.
Well, I just love playing with this team, man, because we haven't played a lot yet. We've just gotten a few trainings in. Well, we got a lot of training in, but we're getting to the point where teams really starting to glue together now, and it feels much better. And obviously, training with such good guys is always a pleasure. Well,
you guys can see it on the court, and thank you so much for coming here. Thank you, of course. Congratulations on the great victory today. Good luck in the future, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both. Thanks again, guys. Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us here for this presentation of our game. Ireland defeat Scotland 76-59 here in our first game of the day. Join us in about 15 minutes' time for the tip-off between the Scotland women and the Ireland women, still to come live on the BBL Player. Thank you for joining us. Ireland 76, Scotland 59.